to better cushion Kenyans against the very costly out-of-pocket expenditures that have led very many families to financial catastrophe and ruin. Honorable Speaker, this bill helps us as a House realize the constitutional right to Kenyans to health. It helps us move a step closer towards the realization of the Abuja Declaration 2001 on health financing, and it also helps us move closer towards the realization of SDG 3 on health. And therefore, this is not just a phenomenal moment for this House. It is a momentous occasion for every Kenyan and for every member of Parliament who really cares about the welfare of the people who elected us. Honorable Speaker, this bill guarantees every Kenyan at every level to be able to access health services without having to worry about whether they can afford it or not. It allows every Kenyan, whether they are earning a living or not, whether they are in prison or not, whether they are Kenyans living in this country who are not ordinarily Kenyans, but when they are in our space, they can access medical care. Honorable Speaker, this bill puts into perspective the dream of every Kenyan child in terms of infant and child mortality. Honorable Speaker, this bill assures the survival of every mother and child in terms of maternal and infant mortality. Honorable Speaker, this bill assures the right of every Kenyan to sexual and reproductive health. Honorable Speaker, this bill assures every Kenyan's access to medical treatment should they be involved in an accident, be it a road accident or any other form of accident. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I am urging all Kenyans, wherever they are, to ensure that on the day that we are meeting here as a committee of every house, that Kenyans from all corners of the country call upon their members of Parliament to stand with them in the area of health services provision. Kenyans must also be vigilant, because we are aware, as it has been claimed here, that we have amendments that have been being sponsored by people who have always exploited Kenyans and benefited from the unfortunate incidents of being sick in our country. And I pray that on the day we have the committee of the whole House, that every member of Parliament will forget about the possibility of making an extra buck by accepting to bring an amendment that is not in the interest of the ordinary Kenyan citizen. This bill, Honorable Speaker, in my view, will be a measure of our patriotism as legislators. This bill, Honorable Speaker, also assists the Kenya Kwanza government deliver on its manifesto on the promise of UHC. On the promise of UHC, this promise was cross-cutting both to the Kenya Kwanza and the Azimio during the campaigns. And therefore, this is one reason, this is one instance where all of us as legislators must close our ranks and forget whatever political persuasion we come from and start with the ordinary Kenyans. Madam Speaker, lastly, healthcare in this country today for those who are of low means has been sustained through fundraisers. Every member of Parliament in a week has to attend between 5 and 10 fundraisers, including people who happen to know you because they have seen you on TV and they know that you are a legislator. They are seeking out for help. Kenyans have been crying. I hope it is time that as legislators we accept to hear, heed, and sort out the cry of Kenyans on the area of healthcare. Madam Speaker, I thank you and I support.
The Honorable Deputy Leader of Majority. Honorable